Welcome back, everyone, to Talking It Out with Bachelor Nation. This week, we're catching up with Kenny Braasch. We're talking life after the show, updates on the lives of him and his beautiful fiancée, Mari, and, of course, what the boy band life is really all about. Mike, I'm excited to talk to Kenny. How about you?
Definitely so. I really have to know, bro, what is the boy band all about? I want to know everything. So many questions I have in regards to that, so I can't wait to have Kenny on.
Kenny could literally... I mean, he looks like he should be in a boy band, so I really want to know what that whole dynamic is like.
Kenny is so good looking. He could just be the solo act himself. I mean, let's just be honest.
Yo, he's definitely the Justin Timberlake of the any potential boy band for sure.
Bro, did you see Justin Timberlake just sold his entire music catalog for $100 million?
Yeah, he's a very rich man. Yes, I did.
Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so.
Good for him. Good for him.
Good for him.
But you know how we do, man. We got to get into our hot takes. So I'm gonna start, man. I got an interesting question for you.
Let's do it.
This is for all the men out there. All right. I want to know, Mike, I want your opinion on this. Which is worse? When a woman steps to you and says, I have a question, or we need to talk. Which one of those two phrases do you want to hear less than the other?
You know, first off, they're both bad. But I have a question. It's all about the inflection and the tonality. 100%. Hey, babe, I have a question. Or I have a question. You know, it's all about the tonality.
Yeah. I felt different when you changed the tone on that, for sure.
Yes, but we need to talk. I don't care how you ask it. I'm scared. I'm thinking, what did I do wrong? What did I not pick up on? You know, I'm scared no matter what. So for sure, 100% for me. I have a question. No, we need to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk is way worse. What about you?
Oh, absolutely. Definitely, without a doubt, we need to talk. Like, I have a question could be anything, right? It could be from silly to serious, but I don't think it necessarily means that it's bad. Like, although if it is bad, let's just say it could definitely throw you for a loop. Like, I mean, I don't know, random questions. You take the dog out. That's a question. I have a question. You take the dog out. Fair. Yes, no. Easy, right?
Fair.
But what if she confronts you? She's like, hey, Mike, I have a question. Were you hanging out with your ex on Saturday night at the club or whatever?
I would be so wrong for that. So I wouldn't even,
My friend saw you and basically says you were all over her.
Yeah, no.
That's rough, right?
Hell yeah, that's rough.
That's a tough question.
Hopefully, as a good partner, you should be anticipating something like that, or you should have brought it up to your partner. But we ain't got to get into like
correct. I just feel like I have a question. You could also take it as she's inviting your feedback, right? Like, I have a question. Let's have a conversation. Let's discuss this. You know, I want to hear your perspective on the matter. So she's open to the dialogue. Like, on the other hand,
you know, sometimes people in relationships, they already know what they want to know. They just want to get your thoughts on it first. So I have a question. It can take you down a really dark path really quick.
True. I just feel like, on the other hand, we need to talk. Like, that's never been good in my eyes. That's we're either breaking up, like this. That's the question prior to a breakup, or you're going to tell me about some shit that I got to do better in the relationship. And she already knows what she's going to say. Like, we need to talk. Like, I have my feelings. You're going to have to listen to me. And it is what it is. Like, I don't know if there's so much of a leeway in feedback from you. It's just, you're getting told something. Does that make sense?
No, 100%. I got one that I want to throw in the mix for you. And I did this to a young lady that I was talking to a long, long time ago. And it just came back to memory. How bad is this? I text her, I said, hey, yo, or I said, hey, can we talk a little bit later today? Can we talk later today? Can we? Yeah, it was random. Can we talk later today when I get home?
Oh, God. How many hours passed before you talked to her?
She called me immediately. She was scared.
She was sweating bullets. She's like, I ain't waiting 4 hours. What are you, crazy?
She was scared.
You can't do that to a woman, Mike.
I wasn't even thinking like that. I was just like, can we talk later today? And that's genuinely how it came across.
You gotta think, everybody's going to think worst case scenario.
Yes, that's when you ask any question like that, you must think worst case scenario. How's that person going to interpret it? She called me immediately. I was like, what's wrong? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm just busy right now. Can we talk later? And she was like, oh. Okay. And I'm like, no.
Why did you say it like that?
I'm like, it was just, can we talk later? So it's all about the inflections, except for we need to talk. There is no good about that.
No, there isn't.
It's just,
like we said, yeah. I have a question. It could be innocent, have nothing to do with anything serious. But yeah, we need to talk is never good from a man's perspective. I'd love to let's ask Kenny that.
No, I was definitely going to say, I think we should in the middle, right when he's in the middle of something, Kenny, we need to talk.
He's gonna get so serious. Like, what do you mean, Mike?
Yeah, like, well, what are you talking about? Are we still recording? Like, what's going on here?
For sure. All right, give me
I'm
your
with
hot
you on
take.
that one. But yeah, so my hot take, man. We had one of our beautiful Talking Out listeners write into this. So, I think it was like a third party when they wrote this in too. I'm not sure. A man gave the mother of his child $600 for school supplies and school clothing, but the man had found out that his baby mama had split the money 3 ways with her other 2 kids that are not his, right? The man found out and confronted her about it, but she had explained her reason that her other 2 baby daddies didn't give anything for their children, so it wouldn't be fair for her to just give one child to have all the nice things and others get nothing. The man was mad and told her that it's not his responsibility whatsoever to look out for the other 2 kids because they're not his.
Wow.
What are your thoughts on that?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, you bite the tongue? That's crazy. That's crazy. You bite the lip.
I mean, listen, I understand. I think he's right. Like, I think he should be upset at the fact that essentially she deceived him, right? I mean, you technically think you're just paying for your kid, and on the down low, she's taking care of all the other kids when they're not even yours. Like, you're looking out just for yours. I don't know, man. It's tough because, again, context. What type of financial situation is he in? Is he like living check to check and he's giving $600 for her to pay for 2 other kids that aren't his? That's messed up. If he's got Jeff Bezos money, it's like he can support a whole village. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Support the whole world.
Seriously. So it's like, I don't know. Like,
I'm going to take it for face value.
As far as principle, I don't agree with it whatsoever. Like, I don't think that's fair. Like, she should call up their dads and take them to court, right? For, whatever they're supposed to be responsible for. I mean,
see, this is where I'm going to disagree with you on this one.
Okay.
I'm a kid that, the child support was coming through in the household at one point in time, right? And so, and I have a sibling as well. We have different fathers. And also a scenario came up with my big brothers, big sisters, right? I have one child, but I took 3 of the kids somewhere one time because they're mentors and they come through. And I think directly to this scenario, child support should go to supporting everything for the child, right? So that includes rent, that includes electricity and things of that nature.
Your child.
Yes, but you ain't gonna tell your baby mama yo, I know you got to pay for electricity, but you only gonna pay for X amount for my child, right? You're just, no, I got to pay electricity bills. Now, but this question was specifically tied to, I believe, clothing.
Correct. Electricity is like
supplies.
Everybody,
supplies and school clothing. So with this example, this is why having kids outside of wedlock could be crazy sometimes, because this is scenarios you never even think of, right? I feel that she did the right thing. I think the mother did do the right thing, because now you don't want there to be turmoil in the house between the kids. You know how kids are.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't want turmoil to be in the house. And then if that were to happen over a continued period of time, the other 2 kids are going to resent that third child, if they're youngest, oldest, or the middle child. They're going to resent that child, period. It's just natural to happen in that regard.
But you agree with the deceit, though?
No. That's where, the deceit was incorrect. It was wrong completely. I feel like I would have told my baby mom in that case, baby, I just found this out. What's up? Hear her out. She tells me the situation, which is, hey, the other 2 fathers aren't providing. I would say, thank you for letting me know. Please don't ever deceive me like that again. And I'm still going to pay what I owe by the court, $600 per week or per month.
And she can use that however she chooses.
And she chooses that how she chooses. It's just like when you tithe to the church, right? I remember when I was a child, we grew up, without all the funds in the world. Like, Mom, we need this money. What is the pastor doing with this money? Our pastor had a helicopter, bro. I'll never forget it. And my mom said, all I'm supposed to do is tithe. Now, whether that money goes to the church or goes to that pastor, that's between him and the Lord.
So time out.
When my child support money goes to my child, that's on the mom, whatever she's doing with that money. Because when I have my child for the weekend or the week or however the court set it up, that's when I'm gonna spend my money on my child.
Okay, I get that. If that was the amount that the court said, $600, then listen, whatever she does behind my back, it is what it is. But what if it was like $200 and she asked for $600, and then that extra, you think it's all going to your kid, and those extra $400 are going to the other kids? And now, what if the scenario happens where now your kid is asking for all the money, or he resents you now because you're giving money to kids that aren't technically his?
Okay, easy answer. My child will never resent me for that reason, because that's a beautiful lesson to be. That's a beautiful lesson to be learned.
Okay, share. I love that.
I'm like, who the hell are you, boy? Sit down.
It's like until you start making your own money,
until you start working for yourself and paying these taxes,
it's like you have no say.
Yeah, you sit down. Your brother and sister being helped out, but you did make a great point. If the court said $200 I'm supposed to give, and I gave $600,
because
she's
nice to
my child specifically, and then I find out, I'm gonna be a bit more angered.
No, yeah, like mom says, "Hey, Mike, this month I actually need $600 because
I would just want you to be honest.
Mike Jr. a little extra, some extra supplies, some extra clothes, and then that money goes to the other kids. That's not right either.
Hopefully, it's not right. Hopefully, we have the type of relationship to where she's like, Trey, that's what be his name because I'm a junior myself. So Trey, she's like, hey Mike, Trey needs a couple extra dollars, and I'm just being honest to you. If you have a couple extra dollars that you can give for my other two kids to help out, I would really love it. It's not nothing that you have to do whatsoever, but I would really appreciate it. Then I would do it if I'm blessed and able to do it. I would have no problem because we had that communication. But Kenny is an engaged man, and I kind of want to get his takes on this right here. If Mari had a child as well, or more than one child also.
These are good questions.
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk it out with Kenny.
Kenny, my man, what's going on, man? Great to have you on Talking It Out. How you doing?
What's up, brother? I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Good.
So, Kenny, we got to say hi to you first off. Then we got to say a secondary hi to just the hair. The hair is looking perfect today, man.
What? Hey, we got to know the secrets. The product. What is the product that you use?
Well, first we both say hello to you guys. I just go to Walgreens across the street, and I get it's the cheap stuff.
Well, welcome to the show, man. It's great to have you.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Definitely so. As you know, we like to do a hot take, and so now we want to bring in all of our guests on the hot takes. And so, Bryan got a good one for you. I want to hear this. Right. Hear your thoughts on this.
Yes. All right, Kenny. This is the question for men. We're all guys here, so I want to ask you this: which is worse, when a woman comes up to you and says, "I have a question," or "We need to talk"? Which one is worse from a man's perspective?
We need to talk scares me, even when you say
it. Yeah, definitely. So.
Why is that?
I mean, if it's a woman, if it was like Mari or something, the first thing would be, my first thought would be like, she's pregnant or something, and I'm, some kind of shit like that's about to happen.
She would say we need to talk. That's like the words you would say. Yeah.
Oh man.
I would assume that would be the words you say. I know. All right, Kenny, I got another one for you, man, right quick. You give your baby mama $600, right? And you find that you give your baby mama $600 for school supplies and like clothing for your child. You find out that she split the money with your child and her other two children,
whose dads are not providing any money. So your money went to all three kids
instead of one kid. How do you feel?
Well, I guess I mean, those aren't my kids, first of all. But
first of all,
that is established. That has been established.
First of all.
But I guess like they would be my kids' like stepbrother or sister. So I guess I could let it slide.
What if it continued on? Like, what if this is a long?
Yeah, I mean, if it was a regular occurrence, I might have an issue with that, right?
I'm gonna disagree with both of y'all still because, like, I just thought about this. What if one of your kids what if one of your ex's baby daddies is like worth 10 mil more? His child support checks is going to be way different than your child support checks. So you saying that your kid could dress in all designer and my kid's supposed to be wearing
Wait, time out. The other kids.
These are obvious things you got to think about.
Hold on, wait, time out. Let me understand your scenario. You're saying that one of the kids that isn't getting child support from their father, that father is worth 10 mil?
No.
And he's not providing money?
No. Based on the way that y'all two responded, the way I responded, right? Let's say I have a baby mama and my child support check come out to $25K a month, right? $300K a year. Yours, Kenny, come out to $2,500 a month, right? For example. Or $2,500, $25K a month for mine, yours $2,500. Is my kid supposed to, or is your kid supposed to just get all the hand-me-downs? Or should your kids be like on an even playing field? That's a fair question.
It is fair.
That's super fair. These days, we see a lot of IG models and stuff. I mean, they got one kid by a super famous individual and one kid by the homie on the block.
I guess it's all about, like, again, do you look at it as more as like context? Like, okay, yes, if it's some famous singer, like they could find that money in their couch cushion, then yeah, like I don't think they would care as much as far as the father that's living check to check and they're expecting all their money to go to their kid and it's like she's divvying up. But I agree with the court system. If that's the amount, like if they say $600 the amount, then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing the right thing and other kids are getting fed and
Kenny, what's your thoughts on that? Kenny over here shaking his head.
This question got out of control fast. Well, this is why I've avoided having kids for 40 years.
Hey, all three of us were without children as of today. So as of today, but Kenny, we'll get off of it. I see that the hair was saying I don't want to answer that question right now, so we'll get off of that part right there. Dude, last time we spoke to you, we had you and Mari both on.
Yeah.
So definitely, and of course we saw you guys during Family Feud as well.
Yeah.
How are you? What's been going on with you, man? How's your life?
I mean, outside of like, the extra stuff with Mari and the show, I'm kind of back to normal, business with my jobs and my little business I have. So it's kind of it's kind of back to what it was, but with the addition of like obviously the stuff that happened on Paradise and now me and Mari are living together, so those changes, but most of my regular day-to-day life is kind of back to where it was, to be honest.
Take us through that, man. Take us through the day-to-day of Kenny Braasch. What does that look like so the audience can get a visual here? I work out first thing in the morning, and then I kind of get to work. I work from home most of the time now. I book a music venue here in Chicago, so I do all the band bookings for that, and then I have a small business with another guy, and we have a bunch of bands that we put together, like tribute bands, and we do all the booking and social media and management of all those bands. So it's just a lot of me sitting in the kitchen on the computer, basically, and just.
Brian, I'm calling BS on this guy. Kenny is the man, bro. He's his life. He's making it seem so dummy down, so chill. We just saw you and your beautiful fiance throwing the ball out at the White Sox games. Talking about, it's just nothing, no big deal. I'm just regular life.
I mean, it's like I said, there's cool stuff that's happened because of the show that that we do, but it's like right before we went to the Sox game to throw the pitch out, I was sitting at the kitchen table doing a few things before we headed out. I mean, it's still got to get
making that money, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like during the day, Mari will be sitting over at her desk, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table, and she's doing her stuff. I do mine, and then we try to wrap it up around dinner time and hang out, and whether we go out to eat or do something, and we kind of put the work away for a little bit.
Kenny, how did you get involved in the boy band industry? Like, take me back like to the college years, like when you were kind of figuring out what you wanted to do with your life. Like, how did this come about?
Well, well, first of all, I've been booking this venue that I work at for almost 20 years.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it was about 8 or 9 years ago. We did this. There was like a 90s band that I had playing, and they had done a few boy band songs in their set. And then the conversation started like, what if we just did a whole night of boy band stuff? And, basically NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, New Kids on the Block, all that bullshit. So honestly, I mean,
it is what it is.
So basically, we put in like a one night event together, and it was like 1,000 people showed up, and it was crazy. And so soon after that, I got together with a buddy of mine, and who's a musician, and he's also like a Chicago fireman, and just a good guy that I trust. And we started a business, and we put this boy band tribute together. And it's been literally just celebrated like our 7th year, like 2 weeks ago. So it's been 7 years with that. So
amazing.
It just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of happened. It was really, I didn't expect it to be going on for this long, but it's still going.
I guess my question was, like, when you first, like, did you just go up to like random guys that were talented musically and just like, hey, like, did you form the band yourself and then have them booked on at this venue? Like, how did that work?
So my buddy, who's my partner, is the bass player in the band.
Okay.
Like I said, I've been working at this place for a long time. We know a lot of musicians on the south side of Chicago area. So we kind of had the band, the guitars and the keyboard, everybody, we already had it all, an idea who we wanted, and we asked, and that was kind of easy. And then we, for the singers, we had one singer right off the bat. And then for the other 2 singers, we did like a little tryout thing, and we found them. And one dude I found in a karaoke contest that we do at the bar, and he's been with us the entire 7 years since we found him. And it was we just put it together, and we took a year to kind of build it and put the set list together and do the whole thing. And then once we started our first show, it's been going pretty strong since. It's kind of wild, but I don't know.
Why aren't you in the band? Because you look like the lead singer of a band.
I'm the only, in my like small business whole thing, like I'm the only non-musician, and I have no talent. Like, it's bad. Trust me, I wish that I could be up there.
Not even like a backup dancer, anything.
The dancing's the worst part. Like,
I said that's the worst part.
You ask Mari, like, ask the producers. Like, I would get pissed, be like, do not make me fucking dance on this show at all. Like, there was a couple parts on Paradise at the prom. I'm like, I'm not fucking dancing. Like, don't even start this shit.
So you're saying you haven't salsa'd or done the merengue yet?
Merengue, yeah.
No. I mean, I'll slow dance, whatever. But
2-step, stay in your lane.
Brian, I'm sure Mari is saying that she's going to get him to do it.
Oh, for sure.
She's 100%.
There's no way you're marrying a Boricua and you're not going to end up dancing at some point.
No, if she gives me some lessons and I can not embarrass myself, I have no problem with it. Like, I'm willing to learn.
There you go. So I want to take it back. Like, before, congrats to being in business on your own 7 years now. But I want to take it back to, because you said you've been in this for like 20 years. Yeah. So when it first started, taking back to that first night managing bands, how did that fall into your lap? Did you try to be in a band, or?
No, the whole thing started with me at the club. So I was in radio out of college, and I was like a promotion coordinator for an oldies station here in Chicago that did like 60s and stuff. And I worked there for maybe a year, and then I got this job at this club, and it's a club. This place is it's a big place. It holds like 4,000 people. There's multiple rooms. It's not just like just like a bar. It's kind of like a huge event space. Mm-hmm. And it's a popular, kind of famous place on the South Side in Chicago here. So, you know, when I was younger, it was like the hot spot everybody went to. I'm like I would love to work at this place. And like I applied, they had the opening for like a promotion person, and I just like applied for it, did some interviews, and then I started working at the club, and I quit radio. And then within a year of me at the club, the guy they had booking all the bands, they wanted to get rid of them, and they knew I had some pretty good knowledge of, because I would take care of the bands every weekend, and I was kind of like the band guy, but I didn't do the booking at that point. So once they wanted to get rid of the booking guy, and they're like, hey, you know, they gave it to me, and I was young as hell when I started. Like, this was 05 probably. So I was in my middle 20s, and most of the guys that would do my job at that point were like in their 40s and 50s. So it was interesting when I started.
So you were a young club promoter.
Yeah, but not so much like nightclub stuff. This was live music. I don't. Yeah.
So were you at like the door, like allowing people in, like getting like booking tables, like you weren't doing all that?
No. Once I started doing the booking of the entertainment, it was I really just dealt with the bands.
Gotcha.
Like I was helping. Like I was production. You know, I'm more like, I'm a nerd. Like I love the behind the scenes, sound, lights, sound, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, I kind of oversee all that kind of stuff now. Our sound guy and our light guys, and, you know, just all that stuff. But no, I wasn't like the club.
South Beach. Sleazy couple right now. You weren't that so far from it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like that. But we do, like, our place does have a room, like a club room with the DJ, like that has that exact thing you're talking about. But I didn't really deal with that part of it.
Do you do like manage talent per se?
So my little small business, we put these bands together. Essentially, I'll come up with a concept, me and my partner. For example, like, hey, we have like a Motown 60s band. So we're like, hey, let's put a band together that does Motown and 60s. So like the Temptations, Spinners, Four Tops, that kind of music. And, you know, and then we'll basically seek out the talent, the singer, everything. We'll piece the band together, and then we kind of create the band, and then we start booking it and putting them out there.
Are these bands, so essentially they're like cover bands, right? That's what you call them, right?
Yeah.
Like they sing.
Yeah.
Do they produce their own music? Like they want to make it big, or they're just content with just doing covers that pays the bills? All that's good.
Yeah, this is like a whole different side of music. No original stuff. This is just covers, tribute bands. This is like a lot of people don't understand this world. It's actually a big world in band world outside of like what you see normally, like you're talking about. But there's like a whole nother world of the tribute bands and cover bands throughout the country, playing in like smaller clubs and, you know, stuff like that. Like it's like its own separate piece of the music industry.
Nice.
What does Mari think about you in the band nightlife type thing?
She the cool part now, like with Paradise and stuff, we kind of incorporate me and Mari coming out to the shows for the boy band. Sometimes we'll use it in the promotion, and me and Mari will go up on stage, and we do like we'll fuck with the crowd and do like Backstreet Boys, and she like versus Jonas Brothers, because she likes Jonas Brothers. And then whatever the crowd kind of gets louder for, the band will play that, you know, that song next.
It's pretty dope, man. What's your end game with this? Like, what's your vision? Like, do you see this getting bigger than the South Side of Chicago? Like, could this be something that goes national for you? Or is that already like exist elsewhere? So there's like a lot of competition potentially?
The boy band, we've been traveling nationally for a while. We just played in Vegas this past weekend, and we played in Canada about 4 or 5 times. We've played a lot. Literally everywhere, East Coast, West Coast. We did a casino in Palm Springs. We've been down all the way down to Alabama. We've literally been everywhere. So the boy band is kind of the bigger act out of all the acts that kind of made it outside of the Chicagoland area. Mm-hmm. But long term, for me, long term, I think we essentially would want to own a venue and kind of just do that, but not. I'm more of a dive bar. Like I guess my dream is to own a shitty dive bar.
Hole in the wall.
Is kind of my end game.
I like it. Hey, Brian, I like his face when he says that shitty dive bar. Like, yeah, agree.
Like a good dive bar. It's like a staple.
Hey, when you get it, let me know, man. I want to come out, support, and get drunk.
Yeah.
Do y'all play any wedding venues by chance?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do weddings. We do weddings.
Is your band going to play at you and Mari's wedding?
Probably.
Because last time we spoke to y'all, Mari said they're for sure going to be there.
Yeah, the guys they're going to be there anyways, so it'd be a free band for us because I ain't going to pay him for that. So it'd be free entertainment for that one.
For that.
You'd be surprised how many people ask for. The boy band does do quite a few weddings. Surprisingly, that people want all boy band music at their weddings.
And you get a cut of all that, don't you?
I can see that.
Yeah, it's all kind of percentage. We kind of split everything equally with the guys, the business, and then me and my partner. It's kind of like everybody's kind of walks out with like 10-15% of whatever we make.
Nice. Okay. How far in advance are y'all booked out for shows?
We go through right now. It's the summer's obviously booked, and the fall winter is probably, I'd say, 80% booked.
Okay, so there's still like a chance for you and Mari to have at y'all's wedding the boy band come out and do y'all's show at y'all's wedding, right?
Yeah.
Question for you, Kenny.
Yeah.
This is a good one. If you were to put 5 guys from Bachelor Nation in a boy band, who would you choose to represent?
Besides Mike Johnson?
Besides Mike Johnson, yes.
Well, I know I would have Ed for sure. Ed for sure. Probably get Blake Moynes in there to represent a little Canada.
Okay.
Canada represent. Okay.
Yeah, you got to represent that. I kind of feel like I would probably ask. So that's 2. I would probably do James and Aaron together.
You got to. You have to.
Yeah.
They'd be the wild ones.
Yeah.
And that's your insurance liability right there for them.
And last one.
And then
who is it?
I want to say I think Ivan looks like he'd be a good boy band fit. He's got that look. Okay. He's got the good look. He's smooth like that.
So Ed, Blake, Aaron, Ivan, who was the other guy?
And James.
James. Okay.
Well, James and Aaron is, I don't know if you want to count that as one.
It's like a duo, yeah. They come in package deal.
Yeah, they come together as one. Talking about James and Aaron, if they are going to Paradise, what would be your advice to individuals on Paradise? Because we see the beauty that came out of you and Mari's relationship.
Yeah. Are they going? I haven't heard yet. I would assume they are.
It's been rumored. It's been rumored.
Yeah. Well, those guys, obviously those guys wouldn't need any advice because they know everything after last season. They were there almost as long as I was. They left like the day before I think we did the proposal. My advice is to be just fucking transparent and honest and just say what's on your mind the whole time. Like, don't try to pre-plan any bullshit. It's how I went in last time. Like, don't be fucking scheming anything ahead of time and trying to make any kind of alliance bullshit or anything before you get there. Because
they doing that.
And I gotta give it to you, man, because you were in like a you weren't even in a triangle. I think it was like a rectangle or some shit. Like you had so many.
He had them all.
You had many. You had a lot to deal with. Let's just say that. And I think that you handled it the way it's supposed to be handled. Like exactly like you said. You were transparent. And even though certain things that you said may have, the other person may not have liked, I think at the end of the day they're going to respect you for being transparent and truthful to them.
I agree. I mean, when it's all said and done, now here we are, almost a year later. Like I have no ill will with anybody that I was involved with on the show at all. Everything's cool. Like everything's cool with Demi. Everything is cool with Tia. There's no issues now that we're because I feel like it's because of me just being honest on the show. Like like you said, there was some tough conversations, but when it's all said and done, I didn't fuck anybody over or try to pull any bullshit on anybody. So
that's a gem in itself right there. When you're just honest about the situation, people can go on with their lives and nobody's coming back on you nothing's haunting you. Right?
Truth will set you free, my man.
It sure will. It's tough.
Kenny's face, it will.
Take it from me.
It's you know how it is in real time in the conversations. When it's 4 a.m. and you haven't slept for 3 days, it's hard to be honest and get through it. But it's definitely worth going that route, in my opinion, if you're going to be on Paradise this year.
Definitely. So I think you get some just life advice in general too. Just be honest. Stop trying to scheme. And then shout out to our sister, our sister co-host Tia on her engagement as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Congrats, Tia.
See, it all worked out great.
There you go. Works out for everybody. Hey, but did we not just see you over in Puerto Rico supporting your fiancée Mari? As she competes? How is that going?
Well, she's doing well. I was out there. She had like a little mini competition. It was like the swimsuit stuff and whatnot, and she did very well. She was one of the finalists on that.
Nice.
They didn't announce like a winner. It was like there was like the top 5 or something, and then they announced more later on like who won it. But she's out there right now.
Oh wow!
I give her. Yeah, it's a lot, man. I didn't realize that how much this was going to be for her. She's literally in Puerto Rico like half of every month the last almost 3 months now.
How have you guys handled long distance?
It's not bad. I mean, it's really. I mean, we talk. Obviously, we talk all day, and she's busy as hell with that. And when she's gone, I'm here. I got work to do. So it's not like we're just sitting around, we're staying, how it is. You stay busy. Yeah. And then all of a sudden a few days go by and then she's back home for a couple of days. And it's really not that bad. Sometimes I feel like, spending too much time together is bad too. So it's almost, it's nice. It's a nice balance right now. Well, it's a lot. Yeah. But it's not the end of the world. We're fine with it.
I think COVID has your back because a lot of people got out of relationships being quarantined together. So there's a lot of people that would agree with that, spending too much time together. And then, they say the absence make the heart grow fonder. So
absolutely. I believe that. I'm a supporter of that.
So, man, last time we had both of y'all here, Mari was, we asked her some things that you could do better, right? And she had mentioned, I don't know if you remember, you were
toilet seat up, right?
Toilet seat lifting up. You had like some shitty ass kitchen items. It was one more thing I can't remember. Do you know what it was?
Oh, you were messing up her pots. That's right?
Yes, you were messing
the skillets
up
or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. So what are 3 things, or just one thing in general that like, babe, can we do better?
Yeah, we got to get her back here, man. Come on.
This is your chance. She's not here to throw a skill upside your head.
Well, first of all, I'll tell you right now, the last little fight we even had was about the damn pots.
Hey,
for real.
Don't mess with that girl pots.
While she was gone, she like texted me like, "Don't use a fork on the pots" or some shit. I'm like, get the fuck I'm like, you're gonna text me like out of nowhere, out of the blue. I get this text message. I'm like, get out of here.
She loves you. She knows her man,
dude. And yeah, and of course I was using the fork, but that's not part of it.
He said, of course I was using the fork.
I'll tell you, if it, she'd mentioned the toilet seat. If I walked you into the bathroom right now, the amount of hair that you would find, it's incredible. And she hasn't even been here for like 5 days. It's incredible.
Do you guys have some type of housekeeping situation, or is it all on you guys?
It's all on us. Like we keep it clean. I mean, you know how the bathroom is when you share. It's rough. Yeah. The rest of the apartment, like it's all hardwood floors. We got the robots running around doing all that all the time, and the dog doesn't shed. So it's clean, but you walk into that bathroom and the toilet seat is the least of the issue, in my opinion. And in fact, the shower is draining very slow right now because I'm assuming
the hair,
even more hair is down in that drain right now.
So when you get off this call with us, we know what you got to go do.
Get some Drano.
Yeah, get some Drano. Get that hair up out of there.
I leave it. I'm leaving it for her.
So wait, how much? Because honestly, I'm the type of guy that I always tell Rachel, I was like, we need double sinks. I do not want to deal with one sink. You and
That's a fact.
She has all her shit everywhere, like all her makeup, all this crap, and I'm like, I have like my own little section. If we have one sink, like now I'm using a completely other bathroom. And I've taken another bathroom in another room, and that's my space. That's her space. What's it like just sharing that one sink, or do you have double sinks? I don't know.
No, it's one sink. We have a 1-bedroom apartment. It's so we got the one sink. The fucked up thing is I got more hair shit probably on the
I knew it.
She would I don't
listen, I don't blame you, man. Your hair looks phenomenal. Like, let's be real. Come on.
I mean, if we want to get to the hair to this point, it takes some sacrifice in the bathroom a little bit.
Look, you over here blaming her the whole time.
It's hard work looking that
when
pretty,
you take
man.
up
Come on
80%
now.
of the counter.
It's weird. I take way longer to get ready than she does. She takes like 5 seconds to get ready, for real. Unless it's like for the pageant stuff. But like if we're going out, like I'll play with my hair for like 3 hours, and she gets she would say she gets pissed because like it gets kind of bad. I almost get annoyed with myself when I'm playing with my hair too long.
So are you late everywhere? Is that what you're saying? Like you guys get anywhere on time?
He said, yeah.
We never leave. We're always late. If the two of us have to be anywhere, we're always late. Guarantee that.
It comes with the territory with Kenny. It's all good. We had to say hi to you and your hair, so I wouldn't expect nothing less than.
That's all I got.
He said it's all
I got.
I do have a question about that, though. You're talking about that's all you got, because we know we've all seen your thirst trap pics online.
Drop the routine, bro. Drop the routine.
Yeah, let's start there. Drop the routine. Let's start there.
I mean, it's probably no different than what you guys are up to. I mean, just the same shit. I'm just pretty strict on the diet. I mean, I work out almost 6 days a week, probably on average, and drink a shitload of water, and I eat clean as hell, probably at least 6 days a week.
I
need to hear every one day of Kenny eating. What does that look like? You mentioned eggs. Seems to be a lot of eggs involved.
I do. Yeah.
Kenny, have you seen Brian's 22 pack? I'm the one that should be asking the question on that one, because I'm trying to be like both of y'all right now. Brian, you got it.
Well, we see you in the gym, Mike. You're doing your thing.
I be in the gym. I'm strong, but it don't get cut for some reason. Strength, I'm there. But
abs
Kenny,
abs are made in the kitchen, man. Kenny will tell you that.
That's true. Yeah. Brian does have extra set of abs that I've never seen before. There's 2 more layers underneath the bottom one.
He does. But how does that work with your fiance? She loves to cook, and I've had Puerto Rican food, and I know it's amazing. How you have to be extremely disciplined to not eat that. Does she ever get mad at you for not eating it?
Great question, Mike.
I have two different diets. There's the diet when I'm home, like when she's gone.
When she's there.
When she's gone,
that's true.
It's super clean. Like today I had oatmeal like with protein, and then I had like 6 eggs with like some multi-grain toast, and then I'll have like ground turkey with some rice the rest of the day. That's when she's gone. And then when she's here, and she's a great cook, and so she does a good job. Like she knows I want to be strict, so she'll cook my stuff like pretty clean, and then she'll do her stuff. You know, she'll do whatever she's gonna do on her stuff. If there's gonna be like a sauce or something,
she cooks
like
separately.
Yeah, there's like a separate.
Or there's some dishes she's like, you have to eat this.
Yeah, I've strayed off my diet more in the last year than I have in a long time.
So what's like your guilty pleasure of her, like when it comes to her cooking? Like what is this something that you're like, you know what, I don't care about my diet right now, I need to get into that, whatever she's cooking? So what she does is she kind of just like, she'll look up new stuff to do. So it's actually like, she'll just try stuff new all the time. And honestly, everything she's cooked has always been very good. So it's dangerous, going, long term here, that I'm going to be able to hold off on eating correctly. And I'm on her ass about it too. Like anytime she's eating some bullshit, like I'll make comments like, and I'm like, hey, and that's because she's getting ready for the pageant. Don't get in trouble, Kenny. Don't get in trouble.
It's not. I'll just be like, hey,
He said, hey,
she's getting ready for this pageant. It's a major thing. You just sacrificed 2.5, 3 months of your life and did all this stuff. If she's eating some candy or something, I might say something. Just a reminder.
Just keep her on track.
Yeah.
When you go and visit her, when you've gone to Puerto Rico and visit her and her family and friends, is there a diet for you? Or is it just like, I'm eating all Puerto Rican dishes?
All out the window at that point.
Yeah. In Puerto Rico, I was all over the place. I had a whole lobster, which actually isn't bad. Like there's some these great little like hole in the wall restaurants in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
In these neighborhoods. It's just like this amazing food. I had like a whole freaking lobster, but then it's also like the rice and beans and then the mofongo and all that stuff. It's like 10,000 calories in one meal, basically.
Bryan, I want to see Mari and Kenny back in like 5 years, have on the pod. Kenny's
just gonna have this big gut. So
yeah.
I didn't make it.
I
didn't make it, guys.
You're happy though.
What? Once we get married, I might just let it all go and just enjoy it all and just fuck it.
So how have you guys like fed off of each other? Because I feel like we've seen her do like fitness videos and things like that. Like, have you motivated her to get more into like the fitness aspect? And then maybe you've taught her a couple things about eating healthy. Like, you guys feed off each other in that sense?
I think it's more, we do, but it's more just because we're around each other. I don't think it's not me like trying to tell her how to work out or anything. She kind of does. Like, if most of the time I go to my own gym and she works out in the gym in our building. So we actually, maybe 1 or 2 days a week, we go to the gym together up in the building here. And, we walk in, she goes over to the Stairmasters and I go to the weights. She's more of like a, spin class and does that kind of stuff. The Stairmaster, the bikes, just running on the treadmill. She's more cardio and all that. I never do cardio ever. So it's
question. Separate. Wait, Bryan, you said same?
Same.
And both of y'all legit probably have the best abs in the game. So I'm just going to never do cardio and just eat right for once.
Yeah.
If you do, I don't know, Kenny, you tell me. I would rather do way more than any elliptical or treadmill, some type of HIIT training.
Yeah.
Like sprints.
I do HIIT training.
HIIT training, something like that. That would be the only cardio. But if not, it's resistance.
Absolutely. You'll never find me on an elliptical or treadmill or anything like that ever, or jogging down the street or anything.
Fair enough. And I wanted to get back to that, though. So we're going to have y'all back in 5 years. But first, I got to know, when is the wedding day so that you can stop eating so perfectly?
So apparently, so I just found out that she can't be married if she's Miss Puerto Rico.
What? Oh, while? I thought it was like as she runs for it. I didn't know it was while she's Miss Puerto Rico as well.
So she's got to be single.
Yeah.
In the eyes of pageant world.
Yeah. If she wins, she would have the crown for 1 year. So I guess I couldn't even tell you at this point because we got to see what happens at the pageant finals is the end of June. So depending on what happens with that, I guess would be we might have to wait another year, And then if she doesn't win, then we'll probably get more serious about figuring out the date. So come July, August, we probably have a better idea.
How is she taking all that, like that news? I mean, is she like it is what it is, or is she stressing over it?
Apparently she knew it already. This was news to me. I didn't know about it. I'm like, well, no, last time she was on, Brian, she had mentioned to us that at least to compete, she had to be single. That's what I thought.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like even if you're the title holder, you have to be technically single.
Apparently, yeah, because you have to be a Miss and not a Mrs., I guess.
Whoa, so that's Miss like for all pageantry?
That makes sense.
This is some crazy pageant stuff.
Learn something every day.
That just blew my mind right there. Yeah, like what shit blew my mind right there.
Wow. I'm not even kidding. This was maybe 2 weeks ago. I knew about it. I found out, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Okay, babe. Okay, I just found this out right here. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So if you did get into planning the wedding, I mean, how much involvement is going to come from your side? Are you just going to show up? Are you going to actually want to be an active participant?
I mean, I already agreed to do it in Puerto Rico. I have no problem with that. My family has no problem with that. Honestly, the only thing I'll be involved with is maybe like entertainment stuff, like what that's going to look like. But as far as everything else, just like around the apartment, I had no say in decorating our apartment either. So I mean, it's going to be the same.
I had no say in that. Fair. Yo, I got a question for you, man. So you were 40 or 41 when you guys got engaged?
I was 40. I turned 41 Thursday.
You do turn 41 Thursday?
Yeah, June 2nd.
Nice. Okay, well, happy early birthday to you.
Happy early birthday, bro.
You and my stepmom share the same birthday, as well as my cousin. A question for you. Do you feel that the most of your adult life that you've been searching for the one, or like just been doing your own thing until the one came along? Or do you feel like, and you had to like grow up yourself mature-wise, or was it something else in regards to you and Mari being engaged?
I wouldn't say I was ever searching. I was definitely like content being like not alone, but alone. Like I was cool, like doing my own thing, like you just said. I wasn't like by any means searching. I guess I really didn't really start to really think about it until I went on Bachelorette the first time, and then I kind of got more like, I could more in my head, like I would be willing to settle down or whatever you want to call it and actually get married. I think when I went on the Claire and Tayshia season is when it sort of entered my mind that it was something that I would do. But prior to that, I was like, doing, just working and
just doing, handling your business on your side.
So yeah, it wasn't on my mind at that point.
I believe you spoke about this the last time we spoke, but what your relationship history prior to Mari? I mean, were you, like you mentioned just now, like were you just single for all those years? You really didn't get involved in any serious relationships?
Yeah, I was pretty single for a long time. There was maybe a year before Bachelorette in 2020, I was dating a girl for maybe a year-ish, give or take. Sort of pretty serious, but not to the point where I was ever thinking about getting married or anything. And she ended up moving to LA. She lived in Chicago and she moved to LA, and it sort of just fizzled out. And that was kind of the only serious one in like a 10-year span, probably, prior to Bachelorette.
And what was it about Mari that
exactly
made you want to get serious with somebody and take it to that next level?
I think I don't know. There's something about her that's just, it's weird because she's young. She's only, 26, but she doesn't, it's just weird. She comes like the way we are together. It feels like she's, my age, or it's hard to explain. And it's just, to me, it's like you need somebody that you could get along with and live with and be around all the time. And like we don't, the weird thing is we don't really fight. And previously I always felt like a relationship just added more stress to my life. And that's why I didn't want to be in it. But with Mari, there is no stress, and she actually enhances life. Like it gives me we get to go out. We go out all the time. We see shows and go to dinner. Like I never did any of that. I was always a homebody a lot prior. So it's like it just expanded and sort of enhanced my life. And I guess I don't know how to fully explain it, but
you know what, you brought up a very interesting point. Like I've actually seen a lot of guys, like, on the person with the microphone ask these guys questions about relationships and women, and one of the main themes that I always see guys saying, and it's kind of like to what you're talking about, is men want a woman that brings them peace, right? Yeah. Like is that a factor or not? Yeah.
That's
Mike. Look at Mike's smile right now.
Yeah, I got a lot to say about that one.
But peace, man. Like just the lack of stress. Like you just said it right there, Kenny. Like you compared your previous relationships. You're all constantly fighting, bickering, whatever. You're stressed out. Like now it's like very easy. It just flows naturally, and you're super happy.
Yeah, like you know how it is. Like I don't get text messages from her, and there's no, you know how it is. Like you'll get a shitty text from a girl, just all that little stuff where there's none of that. Knock on wood, hopefully not.
Not yet.
Wait, Kenny,
Kenny, switch.
We need to talk.
Yeah.
we need to talk.
Kenny just started sweating.
Yeah, he's like, oh God, what did I do? But no, seriously, it sounds like you found your best friend, man.
Yep.
And so, I love that for you. I love that for her. I love that for y'all's relationship and thriving. So with that being said, having your best friend, what has been something that Mari has taught you about yourself that you didn't know before?
I'll tell you what, she's very cool-headed, calm when it comes to if there is any kind of bullshit, sort of, if like a fighting, a rising stuff, she's pretty calm. And I'm usually pretty hot. I don't want to say I'm hot-headed, but I can lose my shit pretty easy when it comes to like work stuff or whatnot. So she's I think since being around her, like when shit happens with work or with one of the bands or whatnot, like I've kind of learned to handle some of the shitty situations a little calmer, which has been nice. Back to the peace stuff that Bryan said. It's kind of like she's like, even back on Paradise, like she could have lost her shit probably a few times. She did throw the cake, whatnot, but it's not like
willingly,
she lost her mind. Yeah, I mean, but the way, there was some stuff she probably could have lost her shit on me, and it could have been ugly, but she handles her business very well, very calm.
Have you learned something about like your conflict resolution styles? Like, I mean, obviously you mentioned that you guys don't even really fight that much, but like when it does happen, like have you noticed Like, okay, like you could learn something from each other in that sense?
Yeah, I mean, the very few times that we've had any kind of like argument where it got beyond just something small, which I mean, honestly, there really hasn't been anything, but it's like I said, just the fact that she's like, if I'm trying to fight or antagonize, like she'll back off and let it die, let it go away. And it's like I said, I've learned to do the same thing, and we're actually good about communicating, which, going back to Paradise, was kind of our pact to each other on Paradise, to be very speak our minds and talk about what the hell our problem is, if with each other or whatever's going on. So we've carried that on after Paradise, where we do communicate well, which is obviously is
Everything.
huge.
That's everything.
Yeah.
That's everything, every subject matter. But talking about Paradise, man, before we let you go, is there any chance that you and Mari will head down to the beach of Paradise, just check in on everybody, see how they're doing?
Well, I mean, there's always anything can happen in Paradise, I believe, is what they say.
That's what they say, man. That's what they say.
I don't know what the hell's going to happen. You know how it is, especially how it gets like right before filming, and there's rumors flying around and everybody's talking, and I'm not going to lie, it gets exciting. Like, thinking back, literally a year ago to the date, I was in quarantine getting ready to do the show. Like, we were there.
That's crazy.
A year ago to this very date.
Wow,
so it's kind of wild.
That's so crazy.
And you came out with a fiance.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Boys.
We obviously we would love to stop by and see what's going on for the season, see what kind of shit's going on.
I'm sure the guys would hate you being there with your 12-pack abs. Like, this dude has to leave now.
It's like, he's spoken for.
He is spoken for. Here. Ladies, stop looking at him. So, Kenny, as you know, we always love to ask our guests, especially someone like yourself, successful, accomplished. Is there any gem that you live by, anything that helps you get through your day, anything that you strive for that you just love to listen to and repeat over and over again?
I was when I was preparing my gem, I actually wanted to just refer to a situation going back to the White Sox game. We threw out the first pitch, and I was able to bring my dad out there with me, and he's a huge lifelong Sox fan, and I wore the jersey of his favorite player, Harold Baines. White Sox surprised us and brought Harold Baines, me and my dad, to go meet Harold before we went and throw the pitch out. And so it was just a really great thing that happened because of Bachelor Nation. So
did your dad tear up a little bit? Did he get emotional?
We all did.
Nice.
Yeah,
amazing, bro.
Yeah,
I love that, man.
Yeah, so that was my when I was looking at the gem thing and the email, I'm like, I think I'm going to talk about that.
No, I love that. Family is everything, man. I love that. For you and your father as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's one of the cool things that because of the show, that's happened. It's one of the cool moments that came from us being on the show and whatnot.
I love it, like you speak at it from that perspective, because the show does come with pros and cons, I guess you would say, and the pros that we get, man, are just phenomenal. For you to experience that with your father. Last week I took my mom to NASCAR. She was just cheesing from ear to ear, so I completely know the feeling. I'm really appreciative of that from you and your father, man, definitely.
I feel like a lot of people talk about the cons so much, and criticism comes the show's way so much, but at the end of the day, I mean, the pros outweigh the cons by a mile to me. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, that moment right there is everything for you, right, Kenny?
100%. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm grateful that obviously look where we all ended up and at this point because of the show. And, I'm just grateful for the whole opportunity going back to Bachelorette, going back to that first season. So nothing but love for the franchise there.
It's great to have you on. And Kenny, thank you so much for joining us today. Where can our listeners find you on social and find your band as well?
Well, thank you for having me. And Instagram, I'm just at Kenny Braasch 10, and the boy band night is at the Boy Band Night Chicago.
At the Boy Band Night Chicago. Awesome, man. Thank you so much for being on, bro.
I appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you, guys. Good to see you guys again.
Dude, how'd you like that interview with Kenny, man?
I loved it, man. It was fun, lighthearted. I thought we got to know him on a little more of a deeper level than we did last time. I think he came on with Mari. But yeah, we just got to, see it from his side. How he's handling the whole relationship and being engaged, and how they support each other and how they coexist and get along. And it seems like a great union, right, man? I mean, barely ever any fighting. I mean, I feel like they complement each other really, really well from what it sounds like. We interviewed her. She was she seemed like very mature for her age, even though she's only 26 or whatever the case may be. But
100%. But you can keep all that sentimental stuff. All I'm doing is I'm gonna call Kenny when I want to be a part of Magic Mike XXL. I'm like, bro, put me a part of the boy band. That's all I need right there. He has all the experience. Make it happen.
That's a different show, Mike. You're gonna have young girls at these boy band shows. I don't know.
No, I'm playing. It was great to hear him speak about his relationship with Mari. I personally, because when I've dated women in the past, when I'm trying to be really strict on my diet, I've always wondered how do you handle the two if the woman that you have or the dude that you have loves to cook, right? Because you don't want to be disrespectful, but I want to keep to my diet. So I was really curious what his thoughts were on that. So that was awesome to hear. And just the human aspect, right, which I think he conveyed so well. He was like, yeah, before I went out through the first pitch, I was at home on the couch in the kitchen, so
yeah.
I love that about him. And then his gym.
Yeah, it was a heartwarming story, man. I mean, that's like basically you fulfilled one of your dad's bucket list items, probably, right? I mean, that's
certain.
You can't even ask for anything better than that. But
well, I'm gonna ask you, what's your gym?
I just got this off Instagram recently, man. 7 rules of life. Hear me out. Number 1, make peace with your past so it does not affect the present. Number 2, what others think of you is none of your business. Number 3,
Facts.
Time heals almost everything. Give it time. Number 4, don't compare your life to others and don't judge them. You have no idea what their journey is all about. Number 5, it's all right not to know all the answers. They will come to you when you least expect it. Number 6, you are in charge of your happiness. And number 7, smile. I know you do that a lot, Mike. You don't own all the problems in the world, so smile.
Did you just do a 7-day gym of the week?
I did a 7 rules of life all in one gem. I know. I spoke over time here.
No, you're good, man. I think your number 5 gym goes into my gym, which I hit you up earlier because I was speaking about it this past week. And this is the only time that I've had a gym because I love to just come off the dome with my gyms. The only time I was having this conversation that I wanted to speak about it for today to our listeners and to you, homie. At times, so many of us admire something about one person's life, someone we see on social media, someone that we see on his box on our TV screen, someone that we know in real life, right? And we see every single day. But the beautiful thing about being post-show, is meeting, conversing, partying, just passing by all these people that so many admire in one way or another. And when we get to have these interactions with these individuals, we get to realize that these individuals are going through the exact same things as well. And a lot of the times on a way bigger scale. And it's really a beautiful thing to witness because we truly all just want the same basic things out of life. And I find that being in this position, it really helps to lower your ignorance when it comes to that. Because people are just Grammy winners, Oscar winners, Emmy winners, platinum recording artists. When we're around these individuals, MVPs within sports, it's like, having a conversation with them, they're the exact same as all of us.
They struggle. They have their own problems. life ain't easy, man. At the end of the day, we're just all trying to make it and be happy and love. You know what I'm saying? And I totally feel you on that. I totally feel you on that.
Somebody can say, well, they got way more money. Well, they got a whole lot more taxes to pay too. So I mean,
more money, more problems.
Yeah, more money, more problems is a very real thing. It's relative in some regard, and so like kind of to you say, just do a little Bob Marley. Don't worry, be happy.
There you go. And do you, man. Focus on you. Don't compare, for sure.
Definitely so.
And with that being said, we got to give a shout out to all of our listeners. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode.
Oh, definitely so. We love to hear your opinions, your stories, your insight. So please, please, please write in to us because we may talk about your hot take on air. So make sure you guys write into us, and also make sure you like, comment, follow. Message us on social at Talking It Out, B as in Bachelor, N as in Nation on IG. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and listen to us on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. And baby, don't DM me no more until you hit that subscribe. Love you.